If you've ever run track in college, then you know that the entire indoor season basically comes down to two meets. One is the NCAA championship meet, because it determines who is really the best. And the other is your conference meet. And if you happen to sprint in the SEC, then they basically might as well be the same thing, because a lot of the same athletes will be running in both. It's the reason why Matthew Bowling lost the 200-meter indoors at the SEC Championships in 2023, but came back to win that event 2 weeks later at the NCAAs. But he is not in college anymore, so the Georgia Bulldogs lost him and all the points that he scores along with him, because he also ran on their 4x4 relay team alongside Elijah Godwin, who is only the 6th fastest all-time in college for the 400-meter. So to be 100% honest with you, nobody really knew what to expect from the Georgia Bulldogs in the 400 for 2024. Any normal program would likely struggle to replace two athletes as great as them. But apparently, Christopher Morales-Williams decided that he is up next. He won the 400-meter dash indoors at the SEC Championship meet in 44.49 seconds. To clarify, that is not only the fastest time in college this year, it is the indoor world record. Yes, I said world record. If you know the name of the man who had the record before him, and consider that Christopher is only a sophomore right now, he is officially ahead of where Michael Norman was at this point in his career. I admit that the indoor 400 isn't taken that seriously outside of the college ranks, but a world record is still a world record. And the truth is that Christopher Morales-Williams is not only the favorite to dominate the 400 in college anymore. He is now on the shortlist to contend for a medal later this year in Paris, because we know that he's gonna be there representing Canada. We just don't know yet if he will get the job done against all of the world's best, including Michael Norman himself. And regardless of the uniform he's actually wearing, I still have to point out that he was never really supposed to be this fast. And I know you probably don't believe me right now, but hey, the facts are the facts. So if you stick around just a little bit longer, I'm gonna prove it to you. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comments section, because I try to read them all. And before I go any further, I am aware that I need to now address the elephant in the room, because when I say that Christopher Morales-Williams was never supposed to be this fast, I know that you think it's clickbait, but the clock does not lie. So pay attention, because even a Georgia Bulldog can still be an underdog. At the high school level, Christopher would have rated as a mid-tier 4-star recruit on SCArecruiting.com at the end of his senior year. That means that he was really good, but there are still some sophomores in the NCAA right now who are projected to be better than him. And for those who ask in the comments, allow me to address this point. 5-star recruits are incredibly hard to find, because in a nation like America, there's only about 40 of them across all of the events when they're graduating as seniors. What separates a 5 from a 4-star level sprinter is that they're normally ranked somewhere near the top 5 in multiple events on the national leaderboards. That doesn't exactly describe Christopher, but the Bulldogs do recruit the best of the best every year. And after his fast senior season, the Bulldogs had to feel pretty good about offering him to join their team. But I'm sure you still don't get it yet, because the uniform he's wearing is actually pretty misleading. The Bulldogs bring in multiple 5-star recruits every single year. They have 3 of the top 5 on the SCA top 10 for the class of 2024. And they also brought in 2 of the top 10 in 2023. But they also get a bunch of 4-star recruits to go along with those 5s. That is where Christopher likely fell on their recruiting board. Simply put, Matthew Bowling was supposed to dominate in college. He was a top 5 recruit across all of the events in his class. But you probably don't even know the names of most of the 4-stars in the SEC, because the only time you would recognize them is either in the prelims of the SEC meet, if you actually watch it, or on a relay. And as a freshman, that's exactly where Christopher started out. He never broke 47 indoors in the 400, and he never broke 46 outdoors either. He never ran in a conference final, indoors or outdoors for the SEC. So the only time you might have noticed him is running on the championship 4x1 and 4x4 for Georgia, alongside the men whom you actually recognize. So when Christopher came back this season, nobody really expected him to fill the shoes in the 400, left behind by Matthew Bowling and Elijah Godwin. But he's clearly choosing to do way more than that. When he opened his season this year, he raced against Matthew Bowling, indoors, in the 300, and beat him. He's literally only lost one meet this season in the 400, but that was a race where he ran like the old Christopher. But the new and improved version showed up to the SEC indoor meet, where he didn't just win the event, he broke the world record. That said, I still don't know what the future of Christopher Morales-Williams' career will look like, but I do know this is probably just the beginning. He was a 4-star recruit whom Georgia wasn't even the most excited to sign. They knew that he had potential, but never could have reasonably thought that he would get this good this quickly. And now, he's the favorite to win any 400-meter dash that he enters at the NCAA level. He's supposed to win national titles for as long as he stays in college, and 2024 is an Olympic year. And Canada isn't like America. Its population is basically the same size as California. For the record, California is bigger, so we know that Christopher should be an Olympian, but he was never supposed to be a threat to make the final or contend for a medal. And now that he's proven that he clearly doesn't care what the expectations are, I would not recommend that you bet against him anymore. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop. or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.